Well, that last episode, there was no fights, but we did learn a lot. I didn't get the info dump that I was hoping for in Meanwhile Lakeshire in episode 27, so I had to do what I had to do. Abel has recovered, but he has not recovered his hand. The guys have a new home in the renovated windmill of Lakenhearth with a tunnel that leads to Florin's library. Jonas got to talk to his dad, which was super cool. He found out that a cousin of his, Gustave de Morode, had killed his father. And it's weird. Anybody who listens to Mountain City Mayhem knows that this is something. There's some connection here. Helsputh, the pyromancer, dropped a lot of info here. The Gith are from Waterdeep. They somehow control and can use the teleportation circles in the Brine. The blue towers that are stretching to the sky are actually tentacles from Ehi, the great octopus god of the Brine and matron of magic to the once great Moonbrook elves. Her modern followers aim to flood the valley as it was hundreds of years ago before the big battle waged between Monterans, dwarves, halflings on one side and the Moonbrook elves and human mercenaries from Faerun on the other side. We also learned a little bit more about Bezlith Lultal, the White Lady. She is fighting against the Gith underground, and she's losing. And she's also one of the main supporters of Ehi in the region that we know of. And finally, we learned a little bit more about the charneled weapons and the plane shifting that Filnyr is likely capable of. We got to talk to a dead Jonas's dad, and that was all thanks to Filnyr's quarterstaff, which has strange powers that we'll probably learn more about. As far as I see it, there's a couple of options for what these guys can do, and they will probably ignore those options and do whatever the hell they want to do, as per always. Guys, you know what time it is?
Is it time for Dungeon Dads?
It sure as hell is.
Ow, ow. Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see them on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care. Just along for the ride, but everyone must stand. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna win inside.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I am your DM, Tom Blaylock, and I am joined here by the fellas John Watson, Tim Carr, and Sam Frank. John, how's it going?
Man, I am doing so good. Just glad to be back. I love playing with you guys.
Yeah, it's so fun. Tim, how about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I'm looking forward to this.
Me too. Sam?
Now, just for the sake of having the full spectrum, I feel like I have to be like, man, it's been a rough one. Just so we've got hot, medium, and cold.
Well, we did play a super late night game last night for one of our players' birthdays, and we were up way later than we should have been last night, all of us. But boy, I couldn't wait to get back to this. I know it was so fun, and it was a canonical Brine adventure. And so basically what we did is we had characters who were someplace else that are part of the story, that now I have the lore for those characters, and now I own your characters. So
that intellectual property
belongs to moi. And guys, to me, I feel like there are 4 or 5 possible things for you to do next. I don't know what they are. I know what I think they are. I don't know what you're going to do. I feel like you've got like the big mission. It sounds like, at least according to Helsputh, is destroying these teleportation circles. Right? That seems like an important one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then you have like your personal things. You've got Mr. Percy and Valerie Cloudsack that you sort of want to get to Lakenhearth. You had talked at one point about returning the Sword of Oglethorpe to whoever is the new leader over there. Although
we talked about that. Is that what we said we were going to do?
Although, well, Despo Goodshower
Doesn't
might have
Despo
something to
have
say
it
about
now?
that.
Yeah, I
She
thought
has
we were
it.
good. I thought we
Rolo
were good
gave
with
it
that.
to Despo in a.
Okay, well, maybe I was just projecting. It seemed like the like a very nice thing to do for those put upon people of whom you killed their leaders.
Maybe Despo's now going to be the leader.
That's a possibility. Yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Look at me.
Yeah,
I'm captain now.
You know, the scouts. The scouts have been sent out to Lakeshire. Probably going to come back soon. You know that there are fires over there. You're going to probably need to investigate those. And I'm assuming Filnyr probably wants to find Galwenia.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Felipe Madamba's crew is holed up in the Owlwood somewhere. So I figure that's probably something that you might be thinking about. And then Abel's spear, which has been taken. I don't know if he even wants it back. I don't know. This seems like there's other things, but that seems like the big stuff. And just a reminder for the next few sessions, every time Filnyr rolls a 7, he's going to have to say the word taint in a sentence because of the pseudo curse that occurred when Jonas was talking to his father.
Given our ability to remember even just like Paraso's natural 1 vicious mockery, something tells me
I'll remember.
a few of these are going to slip through.
I'm going to remember.
In the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
So has any time passed?
Yeah. So, Helsputh went back to the tavern and she told you that she was going to be staying in Lakenhearth for a few days. I think she said 4. And then she was going to be heading to Adair to see one of her kinsmen who is in Adair City. There are a lot of reasons why she's been out in the woods and not in a human settlement, even though she has all the reason in the world to belong here. She was married to the head of the agricultural co-op 100 years ago. And so she is, I mean, if she wants to be, she's a Lakenhearther, but she has chosen to live out in the mud fire flats south of Lakenhearth. You guys get your long rest and tell me what you want to do.
How close are our bedrooms to each other?
So this is a windmill. There are no separate rooms. I think the way I described it last time is there's a couple of bookshelves and a bed that's sort of in that area, and there are several hammocks set up in the space. There is a loft that I don't know who claimed the loft, but it's like above, and there's one bed up in there, and that's it in this windmill area. So,
all right. Well, I'm gonna assume that I probably just claimed the loft and went up there.
Yeah, probably.
I was waiting for you to say it. I was like, come on, just be like, clearly the bed is mine by right.
This is mine. But Abel and Filnyr wake up the next morning to a familiar sight. If they each open their eyes, they're going to see. And they'll find.
I missed this.
But
maybe.
They'll find that when they woke up that I was actually asleep in between their 2 hammocks, and they were in the Lima's tiny hut.
Oh,
that's sweet. Okay.
Yeah, we've been through some shit.
Yeah,
we've been through some shit.
That is true. I'm not surprised to see this hut around me, but we are indoors, Ionis. I think we will be okay. I think we'll have warning.
It does make me feel kind of cozy, though.
They said something about where we could go if the windmill burned down, and got me thinking, and then I looked at Abel's arm, and I just... It's not much to cast it. I just thought we could use the extra protection for a little while.
Well, I agree.
Yeah, and especially late at night when you're sitting there alone with your thoughts and that crazy bard in your brain starts playing his doot 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 doot. Whatever you can do to calm it down is a good thing.
Well, I agree. Jonas, how are you after seeing your father?
I could be better. I want to apologize to the two of you. The man still scares me. I was not fully prepared to speak to him. I wanted to see him and wanted to find out what happened to him, but he's, as you could see, a complicated man and not one for decent conversation.
Yes, that was evident. He seemed like a strict father.
Well, the nice thing about being dead is usually you don't have to talk to him so much.
That is.
I don't know
true.
if that's going to be the case in this situation, but
Yeah,
generally speaking, yeah.
there may be more information we can glean from him later, but I still, I fear I may never be rid of his spectre. There's a lot.
Is that are speaking metaphorically or literally?
Apparently both. But there's a lot that I need to do. There's a lot that I need to atone for. And there are scars between me and my brother. Between my
Those are
family.
actually both literal and figurative as well.
I just fall silent. Just shake my head.
It's amazing the through lines in your family.
Well, how about some breakfast?
That would be lovely.
All right, I'll set off and muster up some eggs and see if there's any more bacon and
Yeah,
throw
so
something
you
together.
can, if you leave the hut, it still stays up, right, John?
No, I leave it and it goes away. But it's
Okay.
it's about gone anyway.
So, yeah, Tim, you can go. You sort of know that there's like chickens behind the tavern, so you can go collect eggs. My guess is Filnyr doesn't think anyone's going to mind if he takes a few eggs, but I don't know. That's up to you. It's very early. I would say it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Things are getting. Sam is laughing because he thinks it's a trap.
I mean, now I do
because,
too.
like, after everything Filnyr's done, the idea that he would be morally compromised by stealing some eggs. I've sent men to their deaths through black wriggling tentacles. But should I
I'm
take
taking
these
these
eggs?
eggs.
I don't know.
But it's a really, really early morning here in Lakenhearth, and even though it's a farming community, we're a little bit past the main harvest time, so people are not up and about the way they would be, for instance, in the summertime or the early spring. There are guards up in the towers, and as I said, there's no walls around Lakenhearth, so the human settlements here are not usually built with walls. They're usually just built with archer towers. And so, one of the archers sees you and sort of gives a little hand wave and says good morning, but you can't really hear it. She's about 35 feet up. And you walk through the town square and you see where, Jonas was covered in darkness when he had his duel with Florn.
Okay.
And the tavern does not have its oil lamp on yet. You do see that there are a few windows that have been opened where people are sort of sitting outside, like inside their homes, like looking out on the square, drinking, probably bula. and just going about their morning.
And look, there goes the baker with his tray like always. Same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same as the morning that we came to this poor provincial town.
Good morning, Belle.
Good morning, monsieur.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
I will acknowledge the people that I see and make my way to where the chickens are. If I might poke my head in the window and see if anybody's, I know the oil lamp isn't on, but if I forget her name. The one who runs the inn is there. I might pop in. And...
Yvonne.
Yeah,
is now the owner of the bar.
Right. If I see her in there, I might pop in.
Yeah, she's there. She's there. She is cleaning up from the night before. This is not the kind of place that stays clean throughout the night. She's definitely getting things ready inside for the rush of hunters and soldiers who have returned, who frankly probably don't have food at their houses. They have just returned from campaigning. So,
Yvonne, good morning. I was hoping to come across some eggs to make breakfast for myself and my compatriots. Would you happen to have any to sell? Or
Filnyr, for you, anything? There should be a few dozen. They're in the cabinet above the whiskey. Take what you want. There are pickled eggs here under the bar if you prefer that.
Well, I think fresh will do this morning. Thank you. I won't need a couple dozen.
Just crack 6 raw into a flagon for me.
Did you come with me?
Just crack 6 raw into a flagon for me, Filnyr.
So I'll grab 8 eggs, I guess, and see if she has a little bit of salt, and then head back.
Yeah, but before you leave, she says, I suppose you heard about the scouts this morning, early this morning.
No, I was sleeping harder than I've slept in a while.
Huh?
What happened?
Florin said he would tell you at once. Someone came back dead. They were on patrols, and Florin had sent several to Lakeshire. They all returned, but the ones that had been scouting around the mud fire flats, one of them was chewed up badly and seemed to have had frostbite all over him.
Frostbite? Mud flats?
That's where you found Helsputh.
Yes. I will consult my compatriots in Florin, and perhaps we shall investigate.
And she reaches out and touches your hand before you leave to give you salt and pepper. And she just looks you right in the eye and says, "We're very lucky to have men such as you in this town now. I feel much safer with you here."
Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. I don't quite know how long we will stay, but I will do my best to leave you in good hands whenever it is we have to depart.
And she squeezes your hand and says, just one thing. These eggs are for you and your companions only. If I hear that you are opening up a shop to compete with the bar and the tavern, we will have much trouble. Filnyr.
Understood, Yvonne. You need not worry.
Well, Helsputh came back talking about how wonderful the potted chicken was, and all I had was vegetable broth last night and day-old bread, and that seemed like a perfectly good dinner for the soldiers, but then they heard tell of chicken pots. I'm just saying, if you're going to make a chicken pot, please come make it in the tavern.
Understood. Perhaps I can offer my services.
I don't have much money to pay you.
No, I understand.
Okay. Then you can have the eggs and your salt and your pepper. And any of the other spice that I have. And she points to the spice rack, and it's basically empty. There's a few drying plants in
There's some
there.
cobwebs.
Yeah. It's not
For some
looking
reason,
pretty.
you hear a cricket in the distance.
Thank you, Yvonne. I do appreciate the hospitality.
Well, you're quite welcome. Gertrude Barman would have liked very much having you around. Yvonne also likes having you around. That's me.
Well, I'm glad to be around. I will see you a bit later, I assume.
Yeah. Good day.
Good day, and I'll head back.
Okay. Unmolested, you return back.
And I will grab a pan.
Unfortunately, unmolested.
Unfortunately,
Return
unmolested.
home.
Yeah.
I will grab a pan and some grease and throw some of that. I assume there's still the rashers, the pork is still there. Then use
Yep.
it all.
Yeah.
So I'll throw that in, grease the pans with that, throw the eggs on top, and serve it up.
All right. I am going to. You guys going to eat the meal?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
well,
of
it's
course.
hot.
Roll a Constitution check. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's some hot
You
pod.
could you give? Yeah. Filnyr, could you give me a what did you have? Survival. What are your proficiencies in there? I mean, you what would cooking a meal be?
I mean, I think last time we did this, it was performance for baking the cream puffs.
Okay, so do performance.
Okay.
Do performance, and
and if that doesn't work, I'll just persuade you it was good.
for every two over 10 on your performance check, these guys will benefit from it as though they have the spell aid on them. They will get additional hit points for the day.
Hey.
Wow. All right. Here we go. Nope. That's a 9.
Okay, so it tastes real good, and you guys kind of feel like maybe you have like a little extra like something, and then it feels like maybe it's like because it's all greasy, it's like feeling like it's bricking in your belly a little bit. So it's still good, but you lose 1 hit point for the day.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you.
That's the worst. What the hell are you doing?
Well, listen, fellas. While we're all here eating breakfast, I'd like to regale you with some inspiring stories of my youth.
I'm going to use my inspiring leader feat
Okay.
Nice.
to give everybody 9 temporary hit points.
Wow,
Hey,
that's great.
Wow.
I'll
All right.
take that.
How does the story end, Sam?
And that's why I can never return to Waterdeep.
Awesome.
Everybody feel better now?
Yes,
Quite a bit, in fact.
That was actually surprisingly. That was a surprisingly great story. I do feel bad about our future aspirations to go to Waterdeep, but
Well, it's been a long time. Maybe they forgot.
maybe so. Speaking of aspirations, what are we going to do?
Oh, I would love to find a way to figure out if Galwinia has survived the horrors that apparently have accosted Lakeshire.
Lakeshire has been accosted by whores.
Well, I do feel like I do feel like I owe you, Filnyr. I can send her a message.
Oh, could you reach out to her and see if she's well?
All right, I
I
my-
hope you reach her.
index finger and my index finger to my temple and my thumb to my cheekbone, and I concentrate on Galwinia. Galwinia, Galwiniad, Jonas Silhavind. Please respond. Just speak into the air and let me know that you are all right.
I wouldn't say I'm all right. I'm in the dungeon beneath the orphanage. Is Filnyr with you? I guess this doesn't work when you are not responding. Jesus is returning.
As Filnyr is looking at me and trying to figure out, and my eyes just slowly get wider and wider and wider and wider. And I sit there stunned for a minute, and
what did she say?
Well, she is well. She's well.
Okay.
She said that she's in the dungeon under the orphanage, so she's in Lakeshire. But she said Jesus is returning.
So, does that not mean that that's her? Right. I'm a bit lost.
It sounded. It did not sound like good
like
news.
It did not sound like she was returning as Jesus.
It sounded more like she might be in trouble because the real Jesus is returning.
The real Jesus?
But I thought
Of the Orc Wars?
I from when we spoke to her, it sounded like he was long dead, but she just made it a point to tell me Jesus is returning.
Maybe he wasn't as dead as we thought.
Okay, well,
Maybe are we bound for Lakeshire? Do we need to go? Maybe we need to go get her. The city's burning. She's underground.
well, I think we should talk to Flon. There were some scouts. Apparently he will brief us once he knows we are up. Some scouts returned from the mudflats where we found Helsputh originally, and one had been frozen to death and cut up. All the other scouts seem to have been unhindered and unmolested, but I do not know if Flon will need help with something that is more immediately threatening Lakenhearth. I think we should just figure out what is the most pressing issue. Galwiniad being in the dungeon, obviously.
We have so
many.
Yeah, I've been thinking about sort of a hierarchy of needs. We're calling it Abel's hierarchy of needs. And obviously all the way at one end is bring peace to the valley. And then to do that, we got to get rid of these Gith. And to do that, we got to destroy these teleportation circles, sounds like. But way on the other end of the spectrum is making sure we got a safe place to sleep at night. And somewhere in the middle there is gathering strength to perform our further objectives. So, I think ensuring the safety and security of Lakenhearth has to come first. Because if this place falls, we ain't got nowhere to come back to.
Right. Plus, we need
Agreed.
to figure out how to find all of the teleportation circles. And maybe we can, if there's one in Lakeshire that is not already destroyed, which we know at least one exists, then maybe we have to eventually make our way there. We can find Galwinia, free her, and destroy the teleportation circle there at the same time. But
yes, and aside from being your sister, which is an important thing, sure, for you, but she's a real asset to us.
Indeed.
And along that front, there's some other assets floating around this valley that we may need to collect to ourselves.
We do have Mr. Percy, who is currently with Waverly Cloudsack's family.
And Waverly Cloudsack is roaming the wilderness without a home.
How long has it been since then? It's been less than a week, right?
It's
It's a few
Less
days.
than a week. Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 days.
Like 3 days or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I can't imagine Waverly hasn't figured something out to get himself safe and presumably clothed. He will be none too happy to see us, especially if he thinks we are holding his wife hostage. But
what if we're not holding his wife hostage? What if we're holding her in friendship?
We just have to somehow make sure he knows that.
I do think we should go get her and Mr. Percy first, and then reach out to Waverly.
Where are they?
They are in the Red Cloud Mountain. I'm just wondering if I can get them through the chest. And
I've never traveled through a chest, so I would...
Oh, I was thinking in spear terms there. No, I follow you now.
Let me...
to get
I was
to
shocked
Red Cloud,
to hear you were going to get him through the chest, but...
to get to Red Cloud Mountain from here,
I'm with you.
we would have to pass either Lakeshire or Oglethorpe. If we go north past Oglethorpe, which is not too much of a concern, given it's an island, we would have to make our way past or through Brine, or we have to pass the tower, where the trails merge if we were to go on the south side by Lakeshire. So
Is Mr. Percy coming this way?
I told him to stay put until I could figure out what to...
But yes, perhaps the chest is the safest route. Can we meet him?
He should have the chest with him. If I can open it and talk to him, I can tell him to stand by, and then maybe I could climb in and see if I could make it to him.
Okay.
And if I can establish a clear access point, then I can go to them, get them to come in one at a time. They'll come into this windmill where they are safe with you, and we could usher them through.
Yes, but how can we be sure that they are alone?
Unfortunately, we can't. I could send Saber.
Yeah, I don't think Saber is going to make the kind of diplomatic impression that we are hoping to make.
Well, no. I send him through. I can I can put my senses in Saber and see if he survives the journey. And then when he pops out, he sees what's happening. And then he comes back. He lets me know, and then I go in.
Well, it sounds risky, but I think the potential benefits may outweigh the risks. If we can get them here without having to cross, if we can get them here instantaneously without having to cross dangerous country, that's a big deal.
Well, let me try. I take the chest.
Well, shall we talk to Florn first?
Florn first?
First Florn, then Fly to Flick.
I think he should know if we are going to bring Waverly Cloudsack's kin into his tower and his town. I think we owe him that.
You maybe. No, you're right. You're right.
And I want to know more about this patrol that got all frozen and cut up.
All right. Tom, would I think that Florn is in his room?
You can check. I mean, that's where he usually goes. That's where he usually is.
Florn has opened his doors to us. Would you like to come with me and check his abode?
Yeah, let's all go together. We tend to make a better impression when we travel as a group. Sort of like making up for each other's weaknesses.
So we go down the tunnel.
Okay. So he's sitting there on his he has like a chaise lounge chair that he is in repose reading a book, and this book is called Figuring Out the Right Curse for the Job, is what he's reading right now. He looks up and says, "What was that thing in your house? What was that thing in the windmill?"
What
thing?
I knocked on the door. I opened the door, and there's this sheen, this like dark brown sheen that was in there. I was I was pretty sure you were okay, but I wasn't positive, and I couldn't go through the door. I couldn't get into the windmill, and I went back in my house, and I climbed through, and then it was like in the stairs, this curved wall was up, and I couldn't get in, and it was very weird.
Sorry, Florin, we've been through a lot. I just provided some extra protection for myself and my compatriots.
You have to teach me how to do that. You had to teach me how to do that. That was incredible.
Perhaps, maybe a spell for a spell.
Yeah, I blasted at it a bunch of times, and nothing happened.
Oh, yes. Nothing's getting in if I don't want it to.
Oh, well, that was great. Well, I'm glad you guys slept okay. I'm also glad you're here, because I think we have a problem.
What's happening?
The reason why we kept Helsputh out in the mudflats and didn't let her stay here is she has a few enemies riding around the countryside. And they always seem to know where she is. And she's very good at protecting herself in the mudflats. Their eyes everywhere, as they say in the mud. And I had my scouts sort of patrolling the pathway from the flats to here, and I'm afraid that maybe one of her enemies has killed one of my people, and it makes me worried that perhaps.
Oh no! What was his name?
It was not a him. It was a her. It was.
I'm sorry. I'm old and I'm a little set in my ways.
That's okay. Tricia. Her name was
assumption of me.
Her name was Tricia, and she had fought for the Adarans before and came back and was in the Hunters Guild.
Well, we honor her sacrifice. What got her?
I can show you her body. And so he sort of takes you upstairs from his library, and sitting on his very rickety dining table, for lack of a better word, that has clearly got a lot of blood on it, not just from this particular Lakenhearth or Tricia. He maybe is using this for experiments. I think all three of you kind of can notice that that's what's been going on here. There's all kinds of like embalming fluid and strange long knives that are all around. And Tricia has a large chunk of her abdomen that looks like it's been bit out. And it's black all around where the bite is. And he says, when she came in, she was cold as ice, and it looked like frostbite around the bite.
Can I do a medicine check?
Yeah, sure.
16.
Yeah. He is not wrong. It looks like the bite of a direwolf, but no direwolf that you have seen.
It looks like the bite of a direwolf, but no direwolf that I've ever seen.
Yes. So Helsputh has not awakened yet. We have strict orders not to rouse her before noon. I think we should consult her before doing anything.
Is there a way we could rouse her but make it not seem like it was us?
Your idea is as good as mine, Abel.
Oh, I have the perfect thing.
What is it?
He climbs up over my shoulder.
Oh, that's a good idea. Go ahead.
Oh, Saber, we've got a very important mission for you.
Yeah.
You got to wake up an old lady.
She's a powerful old lady, though. Are you sure you want to risk Saber in case she lashes out?
Well, a woman's dead. I don't want to put anybody else at risk because this lady needs her beauty sleep.
Yes, she won't know that upon awakening, though, so... It is your familiar.
Get ready to dismiss him.
I'll keep an eye on him from the window.
Okay.
So I go over to her place, wherever she is.
Okay. She's in the
Monarch Suite.
The Monarch Suite. Yeah, I almost called the Presidential Suite. She's in the Monarch Suite of the thing. You going to send him underneath the door?
Well, I'm assuming that I can bamf him. Can I see her inside her room?
You can see you can see the bed. You can't see her, but you can see the bed.
If I have line of sight, I can dismiss him and then put him inside the room.
Do it.
Yeah.
Is the room warded in any way, Jonas? I can't imagine she'd just be sleeping there with no protection.
Arcana check. 15.
Nope. It doesn't seem like it's warded at all.
Okay. I bamf Saber into the room.
Okay. He is under the table.
All right. And then I put my senses into him, and I go and I find her and crawl up on her and find her ear and say, and then
just like 3 eyes over the windowsill.
So
barely over the windowsill and noses. Yeah.
So Saber climbs up into the bed and he sort of walks over the lumps of the top comforter, the blanket that's made of furs, and he sort of roots around where at the top of that, and he pulls back, and there's no body in there. It is just bags and straw that is in the bed.
That
I bamf him out.
Lady.
I see that, and I bamf him out.
Okay. All right.
Damn it! Where did she go?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
All right.
All 3 of you. If you're all 3 on your eyes, looking in the window.
I have a 16 passive. But
okay.
I got a 6 active, so clearly
natural
I'm distracted.
20.
Okay.
6.
Okay. So you, especially here, Abel, you see that there is nothing.
Something ain't right.
Nothing is right in here. Her bags are gone. There is an envelope that is on the table that Saber was bamped into, and all it says is the 2 humans on it.
You suppose that's me and you, Jonas?
Perhaps.
I'm gonna open it.
Well, we're not in the room yet, are we? Or do we
I'm gonna go in the room and open it.
Okay. All right. There are 2 rings inside this envelope.
Ooh.
And it just, all it says is, in case you change your mind. and then just below it, my old rival senses these. And that's it. That's the whole thing.
Oh boy.
Her old rival senses. That might
Whatever
explain.
the wolfy thing is that's coming and
Yes.
eating our people. I really wish she hadn't left these here. Sounds like it's not really taking our wishes into account.
Yes, but perhaps we can turn the tides.
And somebody's dead as a result.
She wants us to clean up her mess.
It seems that way. She told us we had several more days to talk with her, and she disappeared. However, if this rival of hers threatens the town, I do suppose we are obliged.
And if she'd told us she was leaving in the middle of the night, then we probably would have felt pressured to talk to her for a lot longer, and that might have really hurt us in terms of pacing. Well, seems like she could have given us some more information about this thing that's chasing her down, and now, as a result, chasing us down. That's not terribly neighborly.
I suppose she doesn't seem like the neighborly type if she's just out in the wilderness.
Well, it may not be chasing us down. It's chasing down the rings, right? So perhaps we should figure out the best place to set the rings to set a trap.
Tricksy, Filnyr.
I mean, leaving them in this room just threatens this room.
Does Florn know anything about this? He seemed to know an awful lot about this situation.
You guys are just sitting in her room right now? Is she awake?
Yeah, she ain't here, Florn.
Yeah, figures. Yeah, she said she was going to a dare, but I don't believe that either.
Well, what do you know about the enemies she has?
All I know is that she was involved in some big war a long time before I was born, and big disagreements. That's all I know.
If I had a nickel, I'd have a lot of nickels.
So what's the deal with these rings? You think these are bringing somebody to us?
Seems that way.
Do you know anything of her rival?
I mean, from what I know, she lives up in the Red Cloud Mountain, and she prays to the mountain, like the actual mountain, like not a god, not Tempest, not Torm, a mountain.
I mean, it's
crazy.
A big mountain. Seems, but not that big. Seems weird that I would not have run into her in my decades up there.
Yeah, give me a history check or a nature check or something like that. You choose.
You said a history check or a nature check.
He just made something int-based.
Check.
Religion? You know what? I'll take it. I'll take a religion check. Sure.
Okay. 11.
There is at least one warlock that lived on the Red Cloud Mountain. While you were there, you never came across this particular person. You don't know a whole lot about them, but you do know that the mountain did a decent job of dulling your senses of Tempest. Like it was a little bit better there than it was in other places. And you knew that.
Well, back in my day, there were a baker's dozen hermits that lived on the mountain, and we all sort of steered clear of each other. It was as far as hermits go, it was pretty close to having roommates and neighbors, but but there's other hermits. I guess maybe there was a lady warlock up there. I don't know that much about her, though.
Well, if she's threatening my people with it, we should kill her.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Okay. So Florin just sort of like looks at you expectantly and says, "Oh, yeah, okay. What's the plan?"
Well, whatever's hunting her seems to be attracted to these rings. So we thought maybe we'd put the rings somewhere and draw this creature out and attack.
That's good. Get him out of my town.
Is there a cave nearby, or perhaps a long winding canyon or something we could use to prevent different ways out, set a trap?
Let's see. There is a cave. There's a cave about a mile away. It's not big. It's only about 25 or 30 feet deep, maybe 10 feet wide.
Perhaps. I mean, she did have her home as well, up in the woods. We could also use that. That'd be more believable.
I mean, the path to the Mudflats has a lot of has at least one ravine with a bridge over it. Yeah, I mean, you remember that. You Rolo took you there.
Right.
Indeed. Maybe the cave then?
I think we take the rings to the cave as if Helsputh has journeyed down there to discover something. I don't know if there's anything of worth in the cave, any reason that she would go down there believably, but perhaps that doesn't matter.
Sounds good to me.
And then I think perhaps Saber can take the rings down, Ionis, and drop them wherever need be, and we can wait somewhere nearby, out of sight. Or perhaps we have a means to set an alarm or some sort of signal when she approaches.
I think Saber's probably our best bet.
So who's touched these rings so far?
Not I.
I think just Abel.
Okay. So Abel, you when you held them, they kind of like vibrated a little bit. Like they actually were like kind of shaking in your hand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can think of some things to do with this.
But then when you're not touching them, they're not like they seem to not be doing anything.
Convenient.
Abel, may I see those? And I want to run an Arcana check on the rings to see if they are what she said they were. That would be a 24.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know, like it's not clear exactly what these things do. I mean, she sort of told you a little bit about like, her idea for you. But in your inspection of them, flesh seems to activate them in some ways. So, they are definitely like putting off magic when they are being touched by something, by a living thing.
What he's trying to tell us is one of us has to go in the cave and hold these dang things.
Okay.
Not it. I put my finger on my nose.
All right. Well, I out of the three of us, I have the easiest way. I am the best at getting away from situations. So
that is true.
I will volunteer myself. I will walk into the cave with these rings, and we will see what happens. We could even walk into the cave and sit in the hut.
That is true.
But
would Helsputh have a hut, or would that be a signal that something else is off? I suppose by the time she sees you, she will know it is not Helsputh that is holding the rings. So
well, they won't see us at all.
Right, but they would see the dome.
Yes.
So, well, very well. Let's go see the cave, I suppose.
Cool. So the three of you are going to go. Just the three of you? You want to bring anybody?
I grab Florin by the collar.
Yeah, and Despo grabs him and says, General, I wouldn't take the leader of this little town with you. I'll come with you.
Despo, I forgot you were here.
I'll come with you.
Where in the world did you come from? It is so good to see you.
Well, you saved me, and I've been over here in this tavern, and I'm listening to you guys have this conversation. You speak real loud.
I feel like we have so much to talk about, Despo.
Have
you been through a lot in the last few days?
Oh man, you would not even believe it. I mean, from my potions getting stolen, down to Willem Searchlight, saving several errant children who had been orphans who were almost burned up in an orphanage in Lakeshire. Yeah, it was a wild time. The really scary thing though is Willem actually warned me. He said that Waverly was planning some big summoning, that he was getting desperate, and he might actually want to take my life to bring something from the deep. And I mean, for the life of me, I don't know why I agreed to it, but I had already agreed to it. It seemed like the right thing to do. I don't know. Yeah, now I just have nothing but anger for that man.
Who does Waverly worship, as far as gods go? Have you known him to seek the wisdom of something called Ehi?
Ehi? You mean that octopus thing that's on the shields of the Adarans?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Is that a god? I don't know. I mean, he didn't pray to it. But he did a lot of stuff. He did a lot of things that it wasn't right. He didn't believe in the sanctity of life. I mean, he's a good man, but he does bad things.
I don't know if you can say those two things back to back like that.
It's just
he didn't believe in the sanctity of life. But he was a good man.
It's just real confusing. You know, he took care of all of us so much, and I credit him for keeping us out of a all out war in the Brine for all these years. The Battle of Bands would have been real bad if it wasn't for him. He went and made sure that the bandits were surprised. Let me just say that much.
You mean the Monterans?
Well, there were some of your people there for sure, a lot of your people, but there were others too.
Yes, I've heard everything, Despo. Good shower.
Well, I was there too. And those Monterans would have killed us all if it wasn't for Waverly. He's a clever fella.
Well, the past is the past. If we are to move forward, I believe it's going to have to be together.
Hey, you want to come with us to help kill another wizard?
Oh, are you kidding me right now? Of course I will. That sounds really good.
How you doing on potions there, Despo?
I don't have any potions. I don't have any potions. But I do have this sword here. It's a pretty good one.
It is a nice one.
All right.
Yeah.
I seem to have one health potion, Abel.
Oh no, I meant her.
Special potions.
Her special potions.
Oh
yes.
Oh those potions. I mean, I could sure use another one, but I think I got a couple of days on this one. This was a strong one. This is not my wife's work. I got to see her soon.
Oh.
All right. Well, yet another thing we must do, gentlemen.
I hope she doesn't. I say in a whispered aside.
I mean, we're not that far, fellas. Braintown's just up the way. And now that we're in Adaran territory, and who knows whose territory it is, I sure do want to see her.
Understandably. Well, let us take care of this warlock that threatens the town, and perhaps there will be enough peace and quiet after that for you to make a visit.
All right. That sounds good. Hey, short stuff. You got any glaives in there? That's what I usually do. You got an arms room? And Florin's like, you can take whatever you want. We got spears. We got we have glaives. We got everything. Sure, take what you want.
If you got arms, do you have hands?
Oh, Abel, I didn't even notice until right now. That's ugly. How you gonna How you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that?
Well, I got this shield and I strap it on like this, and then I just sort of wave it around.
Oh, good night. That's not gonna do. And she reaches down and she pulls out. She has a silk ribbon in her pack, and she wraps it really tight, and then she actually she cuts the ribbon, and then it starts to come loose, and she holds her hands up and says, "Presto fixo," and the ribbon mends itself together, but it's not quite as long, and now it's like super, super, super tight on your wrist. And
Yeah, that's tight.
And she says, now you can. Did your stump hurt?
Yes.
Oh, well, I was going to say you can punch with it, but maybe hold off on that for a while.
Well, thank you, Despo.
Yeah. All right. And she loads up on it, gets a glaive and 3 or 4 spears. And
Does she need to get you a spear, Abel?
Yeah, I got one.
okay, you got one.
Okay.
I got 2.
Okay.
I got 3.
Okay, you got 3 now. Sure, take 3. Take 3. All right. All right, fellas. Let's do this, I guess.
All right. I cast Mage Armor.
Yes. Yeah, Florin tells you how to get to the cave. You find your way there, no problem. Are you going to stealth there?
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know exactly how close this warlock
Well,
is.
this is one of the things I was thinking, is that maybe I should be the one holding the rings and being the bait, because I can't hide for shit.
I can't either.
Clunk, clunk.
I can't either there, Abel. And
So you go in and Ionis and I hide outside until she's there, and then we basically
Cut off her retreat.
Yes.
Are you sure? I'm rather worried about you, Abel.
Well, come on now. Just because I've fallen unconscious a few times in the last few days, lost a lot of blood, had my hand eaten off, and lost my spear, cursed out a few people. That doesn't mean I'm not still tough.
But that's
Says right here on this sheet in front of me, tough.
well, no one's saying that, Abel. No one's saying that. I'm all right.
This lady comes to chew on me. She's going to find nothing but a hard strip of leather that she got to spit out.
that's the old bridal man I knew before. All right. So what's this ring we're carrying, Abel?
Well, part of a long chain of consequences. It came from me getting turned to stone. And now we got these rings here that bear the magic of Helsputh the Pyromancer. It seems like one of her old not-so buddies wants to come and get it. And wants to kill anybody who's in the way.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, fellas, I don't know if we can't just give the rings to her, but we'll have to see what happens when she shows up.
Well, it sounds pretty good. Let me see that thing. And Despo puts it on her finger. And when she does, the ring just vanishes on her finger. And she says, "Oh shit, that's hot."
Despo, you should know
That's
better
hot.
than to put
That's
on
hot.
magical things that you don't understand.
That's hot. Oh boy, that's hot. That's real hot. Oh my god.
This feels like a trap sprung by a capricious god.
Oh my god, that's hot. And she reaches out and she pulls it off, and there's a burn on her hand, and she says, "Oh my god. Do not put that thing on. That is terrible." Ooh.
Ooh, I'm gonna put it on. No, I'm not gonna
I
put
was
it
gonna say you only have one hand, man.
on. I can't.
Yeah, you
I
putting on a ring's like throwing it up in the air and
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
catch it on your
I
finger.
can't take any risks with Righty over here. He's learning to be my preferred hand.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
All right. So Despo puts her the ring, the ring that she has in her pouch. And you guys gonna head out?
Let's
Head
head
out.
out.
Yeah.
All right.
While we're walking,
Wait a second, Despo put it in her pouch.
Yeah, put that one ring in. Yeah.
No. Keep both rings together. Put them here in my pouch.
Oh. All right. Whatever you say.
Despo, give me the ring.
Well, it fits perfectly here in this pouch. It's it's not a big deal, Abel. It's fine.
Despo, I'm
ring,
not
please,
trying
Despo.
to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
If I can, she gives you the ring. Yeah, you can have it.
That's awesome. I'm gonna use my Pearl of Power while we're walking.
Okay. Get back a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait a second. Why do you need to get back a 3rd level? Oh, did you is that sending?
I did the sending this morning, yeah.
And John, it works.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay, so you find you guys are, I guess you're stealthing behind the two
Sure. Should we
folks.
roll?
Yeah. I'd like a roll. And
17.
oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, wait a
Wow.
second. I have disadvantage.
Oh.
Oh man.
9.
That's not bad.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Not bad for me.
I also got an 11.
Okay. All right. And Despo is also got an 11. So
Wow.
yeah. Let's see. Tim, what'd you get? What'd you actually roll?
I rolled a 9.
Oh, you got +2. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh shit! I don't think I ever switched armors back to the Hark armor. That's fine. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I was gonna ask. I'm assuming we can, through creative use of mending and paints and prestidigitation, we can remake this Hark armor into something
yeah.
more befitting people in the service.
Sure.
To
Yeah. The purple.
Jonas Silverwind, rightful king of Monterre, and the free militia of Lakenhearth.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And that means you had half plate on? Tim, is that
Yeah,
right?
it was half plate, and I got
All right.
which also means then I have to reroll my stealth because it would be disadvantage.
Oh no, half plate is not. Half plate is one of the few medium armors that doesn't have disadvantage, right?
I'm looking at it. It says disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, breastplate. I was thinking of breastplate. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what. Right. So
Yeah, that's
I roll
right.
Again. And second roll was a 7 + 2 for a 9. So 9. So let me also switch this armor in my character.
So just to remind you of your mission, should you choose to accept it, you did roll a 7. So
That's right. I did roll a 7.
yeah. So Despo is pretty well hidden, and mostly what she's doing is not trying to be quiet as she walks, but she is sort of like going like shifting the ground as she walks to sort of cover up her steps, and she sees that you guys are all trying to sneak, and she's just like, fellas, that's not going to help. I mean, if they're here, they can see us, but you want to do a better job just covering your tracks, and Jonas, don't break those sticks, man. As you walk, it's no good. They're going to see there's 4 of us. We only want it to look like there's 2 of us, just in case they're tracking us.
That makes sense. I have to stop being such a taint. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. So you guys get to the cave, and let me just give you the overview here. It's about a 25-foot high opening and about a 20-foot wide opening, but it only goes in about 25 feet, and it turns after 10 feet to the left. And so you could be in this little L, this little hook area, and not be seen. You have about a 10 by 10 area that's in that sort of nook. And then everything that's not in that nook is visible from the outside. If that makes sense. Okay. So the sun is out. It's about noon when you guys get there, and it's shining into this cave, no problem. Like, it's easy to see in there. There's no animals. it looks like there's probably been a fire in there in the not too distant past. Like someone was camping there probably within the last 20 days, but not anything super recent.
Okay. I'm going to make sure I have my sword back for this, so I will use my action to conjure it and have it at the ready.
Okay.
And then I think...
All right, I got the rings. I'm going to go sit in that nook.
Yeah, I think Ionis and I would probably walk out of view to, somewhere that's, I think, as close as we could be that's also completely obscured.
Okay.
And hopefully within earshot.
Do we have a way to signal each other if something's happening?
I suppose it depends on where the cover is, right? Is there a place where there's cover that...
yeah, I would say about
it has
90,
line of sight?
Yeah, I would say about 95 feet away from the cave entrance. There's a few trees. There's a little burn that you might be able to hide behind. The only problem I would see, and this is for you guys to decide, is that depending on how she approaches,
right.
she could see you. I will have it be a roll. She's not going to just surprise you and attack you and take you out. But there's not a place that's like, 95%, like, 300
Right.
degree cover.
What's above the cave? Is it like a plateau or is it like sheer wall for a while?
It's a hill that's going up. There is some trees and things on the actual the hill. You could climb up and hide behind a tree. That might be actually a really good idea.
Yeah, I think that's what I would want to do. How high off the ground would that be?
So it's,
or how high off the ground would it be to get down from there?
Yeah, it's steepish. So it's about 20 to 30 feet at about a 15 to 20% grade up to the tree.
Okay.
So you're looking at you would not be able to see anything within about 20 feet of the cave entrance, but you could see something approaching it.
Right.
And you'd if you're going to be if you want to get down quickly, you're talking about 40 feet.
Okay.
From the trees that you could hide behind easily.
Okay. I think I would go up there. I don't know if that's good for you, John.
Probably not. I do have my rope. That could get me up there. I could also do... I think if I do invisibility at 3rd level, we can both be invisible.
Well, that would be good too.
We could just sit there at the, as she walks in, we could be up against the wall at the corner where it turns into an L, and just kind of watch her walk by, and then we've got her cornered.
How long does that last?
I think it's like
it's an hour.
It's an hour
concentration.
Yeah.
So maybe we wait till we hear footsteps.
I can send Saber out 100 feet, and I can put my senses through him, and he can let me know, and then I can cast it.
That's not bad. Thoughts?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just sitting in my nook. What's Deathbow doing?
Yeah, she's taking her glaive. I'm taking my glaive out, and a good thing I have a whetstone here, and she is loudly sharpening her glaive.
Is she in the nook with me?
She's in the nook with you. Yeah.
Okay. Can I see Jonas?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think you went in the nook, right, Jonas?
Right. So like from the nook. Oh, I thought you were just going to be like at the cave.
So
entrance.
we're at the L, right? If you're here in the nook, Abel, we would be here, and she would come from here.
Yeah.
And walk in, and then once she walks this way, then we've got her.
So for the listeners, John's doing some complicated hand motions.
Yeah.
But basically, he's at the elbow of the L.
Yeah, he's gonna be hiding out right there.
So I will know when he turns invisible that shit's about to go down.
Yes,
in
there you
theory. according to our plan.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Despo, we kind of need to sharpen our senses here and our perceptions.
Well,
Maybe more than our glaives.
do you want me to get your spear then? I'm happy to sharpen that too.
No.
Is that
we
called
need to-
senses?
We need to be listening. And for the record, this spear is called census
Senses.
because
All
I
right.
count all the men I take with it.
That's pretty good. I haven't actually named this one. I feel like you got to take a century before you can name your weapon.
Well,
And
and
this
then
thing's only taking about 60.
sometimes I think it's real fun to be like, knock, knock, who's there? It's the census. And then I stab them.
Well, that's pretty good. The
How many
Monterans take
people
a
in your
census.
household? One less now.
That's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good, Abel. I just like to lop off heads with this, and she continues sharpening her glaive.
You mean that glaive that you just got an hour ago?
Yeah, well, that's right.
You mean hypothetically, it looks like you would really enjoy chopping some heads off with it.
Well, it's been sitting on the ground for a while, and I don't think it's been taken good care of. And normally I'd have a peening jig to sharpen this thing up, but instead I'll just have to use this whetstone.
A what?
A peening jig and a hammer. That's how you sharpen a glaive. Trust me.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Hey, could you tell me what are some of the parts of a wagon?
Well, there's a lot of parts of a wagon, and Saber. You hear Saber. Sort of. Oh, you don't hear him. Are you perceiving through him, John?
I'm
Sorry.
perceiving through him. Yeah, I'll send it
Yeah.
out and then I'll.
So you see 4 cloaked men who are kind of spindly, and they get sort of up over that burn I was telling you about, and if you're perceiving through Saber, you can tell that these are 4 dwarves, and one of them sort of ducks back down, and then you see at first it's just the top of a gray haired head that's sort of rising up over the burn, and you see that it's getting higher and higher and higher, and you see that this is a woman who is an elven woman, and she is riding atop a freaking giant white wolf. This thing is every bit 8 feet tall at its shoulders, and she says, "I can smell it. It is not Helsputh, but they will do." And thus ends episode 30 of Every War Must End, the Dungeon Dads podcast.
Are you kidding me?
I know. I'm sorry.
That's mean, Tom.
I was
It's
ready
just
to
mean
do
to
the
leave
fight.
us here. The listeners are going to be mad at you, not at us.
No, listen. Here's the problem. If you guys were going to go into this and we were actually going to record what happens next, this would be a 5-hour long episode. so, I don't want to give anything away, but
That's fair. It's too late to do that tonight. Yeah, the family would not be happy about that. But anyway,
that's true. Yeah,
we'll have to finish this next time.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Okay.
look. Here's the thing that I love is that. You guys have basically set up your traps. I know you have it kind of in your mind, but this way you'll have a week or 2 weeks to think about it, make it even more crafty than you were going to make it.
You think the plan's going to get any better?
I don't know.
I don't think we have time to change the plan. We're already hiding in there, invisible, and they're
the
on
plan
the
is-
ca-
the
they're on
plan
the
is
mouth
set.
of the cave.
We have a tendency to overthink things. I think it's time we really try underthinking for a change.
That's true. That's
Well,
fair.
Well, what I like about this is you'll have 2 weeks of regret.
Yeah.
2 weeks of going, wait, why did we agree to do this? This isn't our fight.
Any regret that I have that can be minimized to 2 weeks is okay by me.
Fair enough. That is pretty short. Hey guys, I don't know if you know this, but this is the episode that just came out on our anniversary of publishing our first one.
Oh, that's right.
Congratulations,
Oh my
fellas.
God.
I was just looking at when this comes out, and December 7th.
Oh
our
my
release
God.
date
Oh,
is
man.
Pearl Harbor Day. Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
That's crazy.
Our
too.
anniversary.
It's probably
is
for the
Pearl Harbor
best
Day.
for the content, but
Yeah.
yes.
41.
Well, wasn't it the 9th? I think it was the 9th of December, but this is the closest we will get to it with the release. But either way, just thought it was cool.
Tora, fellas.
Hey, guys, congratulations.
Hey,
It's really
congratulations
cool.
to you, and thanks
Yeah.
everybody listening.
Yes,
for
thank you
sure.
so much. This has been an amazing year. Wow.
Yeah. It's been
I don't
the
know if
best
amazing
year
is
ever.
the word for 2020.
Yeah, I can't think of anything I would have liked better than the year we had in 2020.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know how it could have been better, guys.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Listen, at least this was all positive. So thank you all listeners. Thank you all
Yeah.
the Patreon subscribers. We appreciate you very much. And you can join them if you want. Patreon.com/Dungeon Dads.
Yeah, come on back, everybody. We're going to do a really fun bonus episode this week. And hopefully some of you will participate in it.
Yeah, we
I don't
better
want
do
to
something special for our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah,
Seriously.
for
Good
sure.
idea.
Yeah.
What is
All
the
right.
1 year? What's the 1 year anniversary? Is that paper?
I think so. But I think we've all been
I'm
married
getting
too
you guys
long.
some new character sheets.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a book coming out.
That's
Right?
Vellum.
What's the book?
Well, now I realize the date is wrong for recording and release. But hey, you know, Tasha's was close
Tasha's.
enough. We'll call it the book.
Tasha's. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe in 5 years when we finish this adventure, you guys can create a character using Tasha's new rules. What do you think?
Are you swearing you won't kill us between now and we should save this for the bonus episode? What do we
Right,
do?
Yeah, let's save it for
seriously.
bonus
seriously.
episode.
Good
Toodaloo,
This is Hot
everybody.
Pod. This is
Yeah,
Hot
come on, everybody. Yeah, hot pod, everybody. Go,
right.
Toodaloo. Come on back.
Toodaloo.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-